Alright guys, it's Alchemyoflife. I finally figured out this new app, this master screen recorder app. Kinda tipsy, but whatever. But today's video is gonna be titled like not a specific title, but the toxic ways of feminism. I guess if you give it a title, you can title it the toxic ways of feminism because this doesn't really get talked about a lot. And I've talked about it a few times on my channel, but I keep seeing it like it's just not a thing. And basically, what it is saying that all men are wrong. We have no voice in any. We should have no voice in any decision. Blah blah blah, stuff like that. The hating of men. That's one thing I don't care about that. But when you're purposely silencing women and their voices because you know that they've been through way more than you have and don't get down with your regime, they don't fit into the box of feminism because they say they're not about that. Those are the women in society right now that are being silenced at unfathomable rates right now. And it goes against everything that these women say that they're for in this feminism movement. And that should tell you who it comes from. When women who are being silenced have been through the same thing, just a different perspective, or if not more, and they don't vibe with feminism. They say, hey, that's not me. I have plenty of female friends who've been through these things of society. I have, male friends who have as well, but just keep on subject. I have plenty of female friends who have been through terrible things. And for some reason, they don't find themselves to be a feminist. That will pose a question to men, if at least not other women who are skeptical of the movement, who are just following along so that they don't get drowned in a wave, or, so they're not seen as different. And that happens with trends, things that are trendy all the time. And I wanted to come and do something lighthearted and more earthly, and then we'll get back into, doing spell work and different things like that. I'll probably pop on and do some videos of me doing some work for my friends or clients, because when I want to bring you spell work, I want to actually be manifesting for someone or myself. I actually want to have a purpose. I just don't want to do it just to do it, just to teach you how to do it, just to get the views, however many views it would get. It's kind of how I want to do it on that end. But on this end, basically, if you look at the toxic ways of feminism, okay, now here's the first question I'm going to pose. Ever since in our generation, in our lifetime, that we have been aware, conscious, been able to perceive what that is and what it entails. What has it done for women that has furthered their consciousness and furthered them as, a sex or gender, however if you want to take it down that road? How have they furthered themselves? It's just gonna be as silent as I just was for those few seconds. You tell me what has been done. What have women got out of this that they can say that is positive in a sustainable fashion? Again, fucking crickets. Because nobody knows. Nobody knows. Like, I was thinking about that today. What has the feminist movement done for women? Like, for real. What have all these marches done for them? Because I'm all for seeing, the relationship between men and women be bettered, but feminism is driving a wedge silently between men and women, because it's these feminists telling men to shut the fuck up. You have no say in this or that. And when it comes to like talking to them, it's getting so bad to where a man can't even compliment a woman, or he's some sort of ism or schism or fucking jism. Who gives a fuck? It's getting to the point where it's feminizing the little boys. That's not even the problem. The problem is getting to be these feminists are getting to the point to where on social media, and it's been on the news within the last week or so, there was a man and it was a couple, a married couple who did a gender reveal, and a man expressing his joy because he was having a son he's going to get to play ball with, or teach, how to do certain things. I'm not saying you can't teach women, your daughter, certain things, guys, or do certain things, but there's certain things a mom can do with her daughter in a traditional sense. A mom can do with her daughter that she can't do with her son, and certain things that a man is going to do with his son that he's not going to do with his daughter. It's just going to be like that. And this is coming from a man who has had his mother and father in the household, but his father wasn't the greatest. Most of my life, it's like he wasn't even there, but he was there because of the way he treated me. But I can still come from this perspective. I grasp it because it wasn't always bad. There were good days, but this man was berated by women who, you can tell, mainly feminists. He was targeted, and this woman, his wife as well, because he showed joy and happiness. He didn't say, "Oh, thank God we're not having a girl." No, this is a couple who has been trying. One of the couples that have the word "trying" behind having children. So they're just happy, A, to be having a kid, and B, so the fuck what? He's happy to be having a son. They already have a daughter. If you read into the situation, they have a little girl. They've been struggling to have another kid, and now they finally having a son. So now they have kind of the traditional sense of the American family going on. They are a Caucasian couple, so it's even more, if you want to put it, traditional. You see a black couple or a white couple, they have a daughter and they have a son. That's what you call the traditional, in the American sense, traditional American family. Doesn't say anything less or more. That's just kind of how it is. Just up there with baseball and apple pie. It's just what America does. And so he mainly, but him and his wife as a collective were berated by feminists and women because he showed joy because he has a son, or because they're having a son. What the fuck is shit coming to when a man can't even be happy? He's not talking to these women. He's not berating them. He's not raping them. He's not doing things to them. He's expressing his emotions about how he feels about having a son. He was probably the same way when his daughter was born, because they have had problems conceiving. And this is where the toxic ways of feminism comes in. So it means it's coming from a higher agenda on purpose to drive the wedge between men and women, obviously. Because the news chose to show this story to tell us what the fuck is going on that end. That they're driving a wedge between men and women slowly but surely. All these years they've been doing it. A man can't even be happy that he's having a son. You're kidding me, right? And I wasn't playing when a lot of these women look at men, all these men now, like they didn't rape somebody. No, they didn't. Because if you look on most of these child sex offender lists, especially in Illinois, if you look up our registry, the sex offender registry, especially those that deal with cases of minors, aka childs, it's mostly women. You got like 275,000 women on that list. Don't nobody want to talk about that. They got more women than men on there. Women are supposed to be cherishing these children. You guys are the portal from which life comes through. The man sows the seed and does the deed. and you guys are the portal. I believe in two wombs. One coming from the man, not a very big one. It lies in 2 points in his body, and that is, well, 1 point, and that is the middle point in which the sperm, where it is collectively made. It's not always made. It's not 100% made in the ball sack. It's the point between the ball sack and the end of the urethra. It's where the male womb would be, and that's where the seed passes. Okay, that's where it grows and is made, and then the rest of the seed grows and is made in the womb of the mother, which is the womb that we know of, the womb of Gaia, Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the cosmos, that womb, this womb, the feminine womb. But yet and still, you got more women out here, and if you think about the psychology of things, in a fucked up way, it makes sense because of how men are and women are about sex. And that's a whole nother video. It's fucked up, but you got more women out here touching little boys than you think. But these feminists don't want to talk about that. These feminists don't want to talk about how they're silencing women who don't fuck with their shit. And it's just not them saying, oh, I don't fuck with you. They got information as to why they don't. Because what have you guys done for the collection of women except make, since you guys in our generation have been present, have done nothing but hate on each other. The hatred and the women crime on women has gone up. You know, the vocal, the physical, the mental, all of that. Women have a way bigger ego than men because you're led by emotion. Yes, the ego is logic, but it's led by emotion. Don't get it fucking twisted. So these are the things I want y'all to think about. 100%. When it comes to feminism, think twice before you want to put that label on yourself. You'll be endorsing something that doesn't even stand for women. It stands for the detriment of women. I want y'all to know that. All you have to do is look into it and pose questions like I have. Just one simple question. What has it actually done for women? Have you guys prospered from that movement? Because I don't see so. You march about one time a year and nothing ever comes of it. It's like my whole life when my dad told me he was going to do something, but he never did it. That's what the feminism movement is like. Empty promises. It sounds good on paper. It's like when the Patriots went 16-0 in 2000 and was it 2008? They went 16-0 and got beat by the New York Giants, who are 9-7. Empty threats. Not empty threats. Empty promises. My fault. Empty threats would be one thing, but empty promises. You have to look at this shit logically because we already have the feeling behind it. But all these feminists, all they just teach women to do is just to be purely led by emotion. And it's crazy, but you know, Alchemy of Life, I'm out. I love y'all. Stay up. You know, go to Alchemy of Life at Fiverr.com. Get your spell work done. I'll be doing prosperity spells and reversal work. And also, you can email me for a honey jar and a prosperity jar, which is mine. They'll be simple to us, a sugar jar / honey jar, whatever. Very similar, you know. But I'm out.